Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another X-Men Evolution reaction for you guys. Today, guys, we're checking out Season 3, Episode 5, Blind Alley. That's an interesting title. I don't know what that means, not sure what it's referring to. Maybe I'm not remembering something from the comics, but anyways, Blind Alley. So, last week's episode was okay. The more I thought about it, I'm like, because I really wanted it to be the focus on Scarlet Witch, because she was basically opening the episode in a sense, and finding Pietro, which she did find him, and going after Magneto, which I feel like they're building that up. That's why they had it in the opening of the episode, but really it was more so about the fact that Pietro was captured by Wanda, and then using him as basically bait to lure out Magneto, but actually no, because Gambit shows up, which is great, by the way, seeing Gambit. That was kind of the highlight of the episode, was Gambit showing up, and then ordering the old Brotherhood, you know, Avalanche and Blob, and Toad, by the way, Toad stopped wearing Pietro's Quicksilver's uniforms, his outfits, but anyways, using them as a test to go save Pietro, to basically get in good graces and showing you can actually do what Magneto wants you to do, and maybe you get in the good graces of Magneto. But they failed. But then Pietro is now back, because he did get saved, but it was because of Kitty saving him, because he would have crashed down in that truck he was captured in. So Pietro now is running the Brotherhood, essentially, the X-Brotherhood. So yeah, that's where we kind of left off on it. And I don't know where we go from here, but I'm curious to see what Blind Alley is all about. So let's dive into it now, guys. Let's check it out. Let's go.
I can't examine her like this.
Trust me.
Right away.
It's the only way you want to.
I need to loosen her arm.
Wait, I'll get a ball restraint.
Why doesn't that... Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Never mind, she's too keyed up.
That was quick. It's so fast. She's a bird now. Yep. Oh. At least he can do that. That's very helpful and handy. Oh boy.
Why don't you hook up a VCR or something?
You're a sharp kid, Bobby.
I'm just setting up the lighting system.
Why are they shirtless? Why? Anyways. Okay, we're planting trees. I'm like, why is he busting into the ground like that?
You felt it so strong that you
Don't talk to Logan about love. Don't do this.
Once. Most beautiful bike I ever saw.
How's the guy supposed to know if the girl feels the same way?
She does.
Look,
She
here's
does.
how I see
Come on.
I'd like to finish this job.
Well, hey!
Mystique. That's Mystique. A ring of water. There you go. Looking over at Scott.
It's
Oh.
good, don't you think?
Yes. Scott's always been there for me.
Like the time when your powers were crazy. He helped you through
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
He was so worried about you. It's a good day for new beginnings, and for telling people how you feel.
Exactly. Let's get to it. Come on.
Maybe.
I'm stranded in Mexico. Can you believe it?
We finally
it's
hear
the
from him
super
and okay.
competition in Cabo.
I'll be there as soon as I can get a flight. Meet me at the airport. We'll talk when I get back.
There's a place down this way.
It's Mystique. It's Mystique.
Payback time.
I should have known when the bird came in between, and Mystique is a savage. Savage.
Hello?
Well, at least he knows in the desert. Ooh. This is messed up, man. I didn't know where this episode was going. This is brutal. He's just walking non-stop. There's wolves. That should scare them away, I would think. Oh. Tell me she senses him. Yes.
A bad dream is usually just that.
Not a dream.
Dream.
Oh my god, no. You have to use your ears. In the face. Well, at least people see him.
Vayamos!
Damn. I guess he's not using his powers, like, strong enough to kill him. Good save. Oh, now they run away, of course. Oh, well. She was keep watch. Damn.
Fools.
He must must have gotten Alex back home by now.
Mm-mm.
Have you talked to Scott at all? Oh no.
I want to check for a concussion. Open your eyes, please.
No! You can't do that. No! Don't!
Told you no. Now they think he's a freak,
Mexico
a monster.
City.
Yeah.
But as
Go
you
get
know,
him.
Cerebro can't pinpoint him exactly.
He just needs a phone. There's a phone right there, but he doesn't have money.
Fan out. He's within a 5-mile radius.
Ooh, okay, let's do it.
You were the Americano Mutante who blew the roof off our hospital, no?
That was an accident.
You guys are gonna regret this. You're gonna regret this. Ooh.
You really want a piece of this?
Now they're running away.
You gonna leave me alone now?
Yeah.
Bravo.
It's Mystique, son of a bitch. Of course.
You don't like being abandoned?
Mmm.
Fun. Now
Well,
end this.
it's not fun for her.
The fun's just begun.
It's not fair. You can't see. Interesting.
Professor?
Okay.
Mystique is after him.
Damn, that was a hard kick. They're making noise. He knows. Oh, shit. He's trying, but, you know, it ain't working out too well. Damn. She's taking this whole, being trapped personal. Ah. In the darkness. Watch out.
What's the matter? Can't you see?
Ooh. The tides have turned. This is pretty smart for him to do this to her.
Scott, are you down here?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Jean!
Cerebro led me right to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right
Mm-hmm.
to this warehouse?
Exactly.
You're not!
Okay. The real Jean is there.
Girlfriend to the rescue.
Well, I mean, not official yet.
You got that right, lady.
Holding her still. Oh my god. You're done for.
Scott!
I can't believe you even knew where I was.
It must be a bond we have. I don't know how to explain it.
You don't have to.
Is that better?
Yes.
Couldn't get it.
Yes. Ooh.
Well, it's about time.
That's for sure.
I wasn't expecting an episode called Blind Alley to be Mystique's revenge on Scott, like in terms of what the episode would be about. And also, too, which we've been waiting for forever, and it's, I guess, finally official in a sense. Jean and Scott are together at the end, which is great. Now, as you guys know, if you've been following me for any amount of time, I have stated multiple times, reacting to different shows and movies and all that stuff and trailers, romance is something I'm not too fond of in my storytelling. I understand that it has to be a part of narratives and, you know, storylines, all that kind of stuff. But realistically, I'm not really a big fan of romance. If it's done well, I will applaud it and point it out, like Nightcrawler and his girlfriend at school, who accepted him for who he was because she knew that he was a mutant and everything and knew he was blue and all that stuff. I loved how they approached it and loved how they introduced that in the episode. I think it was back in season 2. Yeah, it was. But it was so good. And this is another thing they've done a really good job, even though it's been taking forever, is building up to Scott and Jean. Because Jean's been with this Duncan guy and Scott's been, and he's been talking to other girls, but really he wants to be with Jean. It's been very apparent for a very long time. And they finally reveal that there is that really deep bond because of her losing control of her powers, and Scott reached out to her, saved her. She's like, I owe him my life. And then she's having these visions of him out in the desert, and they're not dreams, as Professor X was saying. Well, you're telepathic, like, you shouldn't be able to reach out that far. Like, that's probably just a bad dream, a bad nightmare. It's not. And then she basically saw through his eyes what he was experiencing fighting Mystique. It's very, very good. And I love the ending of the episode where he's like, I wish I could see your face again. And then when he does, and he's like, is that better? He's like, oh yeah, it's definitely better, because he sees her, and then they're cuddling up on the plane. It was very nice. And then of course everyone else, like Wolverine, Storm, and Professor X. Like Professor X didn't say nothing, but Storm and Wolverine, sorry, brain fart for there for a second. We're like, finally it's happening. So I think they're together now. I don't think it's official yet, but when that whole line, Mystique is like, "Oh, girlfriend to the rescue," she's like, "You know it," or whatever. I'm like, ugh. So it's good that we're actually getting this. It's good that we're finally getting to this point where they can finally just embrace their bond and their connection, because they've been connected and on that kind of same page, if you will, before the whole thing where she was losing control of her powers. So finally we're getting here to the other part of the episode, which is kind of the main crux of this whole thing. Is this is Mystique's revenge, and I'm glad that they actually addressed it. Normally I would say let's just focus on other things, because Mystique getting out, of course she was going to get out at some point, but they made a very big point to highlight that in the season 3 premiere of him leaving her behind at Area 51, and how he distinctly chose, like it wasn't like an accident or whatever, he chose to leave her and get her stuck because she wasn't going to reveal where Professor X is. So he made a choice. So then she breaks out, pretends to be his brother, gets him to Mexico, and then the whole thing ensues, and he's out in the desert, out in the middle of nowhere. And it was brutal. It was brutal watching Scott fight, like it was coyotes or wolves or whatever, but he was fighting them off or whatever. He was struggling, and he could have died. He could have died out there. Now, they showcased a couple of times, not just once, where multiple of those wolves, coyotes, I'm pretty sure there were wolves, but anyways, there's multiple times where they're getting hit with his eye beams, his laser beams, his heat vision, whatever. They're not dying, right? And I don't think you show animals dying, but they're also implying maybe he's using a certain power, because he was going full blast, took his visor off against Juggernaut, and we saw how that was not killing him. I'm assuming he's like hitting a certain level when he opens his eyes to where it's not as powerful to kill them. I don't know, but that's my guess as to the maybe explanation, so that they're not dead, because you don't want to show him killing a bunch of animals. That's my guess is what they're doing. But regardless, he got saved, thankfully. He warned that doctor not to open his eyes. Like, I need to check your eyes. No, you can't. I wish he would have explained it more. I wish Scott would have found a better approach, but he was such in a delirious state. I don't blame him. The action sequences between Mystique, especially when he shuts off the lights and kind of basically throws it back at her about the whole in darkness, because he can't open his eyes barely, and so he knocked the whole entire room into darkness, was very well done, because Scott was over time learning to use his hearing and pay attention to sound and all that, and I think it was really well done how they handled it, because he was showing that he's stronger. The dog's going freaking out. Anyways, what I was saying is that it showed that he was able to be more versatile with his actual fighting, because he had to, because he couldn't rely on his actual main source of power and use his combat. And the fact that Mystique, I guess she didn't think that maybe I could turn into somebody, or maybe morph my eyes to where I can't. I guess she can't do that, where she has to turn into one thing. She can't like morph her eyes to maybe see better, or turn into somebody who can see in the dark, or something, or an animal, because she turns into animals all the damn time. She turned into a bird in this, like a crow or whatever. She was an owl at one point, so but then again, she wouldn't be able to fight back if she was an owl that could see in the night, I guess. So, but it was fun to see that. What else didn't pick up? I think the opening of the episode was kind of interesting too, besides Mystique, of course, escaping and all that, which was a cool little sequence of her transforming a couple different times or whatever, to throw off the people at Area 51. Like, it wouldn't be that easy to escape, I would think. If you're in Area 51, it would not be that easy to escape. But once you can turn animals, it's pretty much, it's over, right? Because you can just get out. I like how we have now the X-Mansion back. I think that's really cool. I think that's awesome that we have the X-Mansion back, because it sucked that it blew up. It was crap. I hated it. But I also understood the story element behind it, the reason why it happened, and it was pretty brutal, right? But it goes to show that there are high stakes in the show. So I'm glad that the X-Mansion is back and they are putting it back together. We got to see a bunch of the X-Men, a bunch of the new recruits, if you will, even though they're not really new anymore since that was season 2. We got Bobby and a couple others or whatever, but seeing them all using their different abilities to help, bring it back. We had multiple banner, multiple whatever, like he was but basically going out, like spreading himself out 5 different ways and painting and everything. So it was really cool to see that, and to see other characters using their abilities to help out in their own way to help get the expansion back in order, so they can basically move back into their home instead of being underground on the land somewhere. So overall, like, this was a pretty solid episode. I had a good time with it, and finally, like I said, Jean and Scott are together, and Mystique is still out there somewhere, but she had a good revenge plan. It was working for a bit, and then it, tables turned on her because Jean showed up and wiped her ass like nothing. But it was good. It was a good time, and I love this show. I'm loving the journey of this show, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen next. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys saw the reaction. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about the episode. Whatever thoughts you have, guys, about the episode, let me know in the comments below. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.